Simmers, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Pepper, and today I'm going to be showing you a tiny home build. And so for this specific build, I actually had in mind it being for a single mom. And so that's basically what I did. I did a house for a single mom. And so the idea around the house was to make it a really small home just since it is them two. Oh yeah, look, you can see the family in the front. So I did make a dog for them as well. In my mind, I just had it like if I was a single mom and I had a toddler and it was just us two in this small little home, I would want some kind of protection. And I know like a lot doesn't really happen in The Sims, but there are mods and stuff that you can use so that you could make things a little more interesting in the game. But anyway, in just my imagination, I figure, maybe there's stuff that might go down for a single mom that, you might not want to happen. So I just included a dog so that way they could have that extra protection in the game. So yeah, that was my idea. But yeah, so for this house, I did want to make it like really simple. I did get a little bit inspired for the roof from my last build since it was kind of like that kind of shape. So I did kind of stick with that just because, I don't know, I just had it in my mind. I wanted to do something else with that. And it was from the blueprint build that I did in my last video, but this one is just a house I made up. You could see I'm kind of like struggling with the window placement to see like what looks good and things like that. But I do like to include how I do like struggle with the build just because I don't want you to think like I'm trying to show myself to be like this amazing builder because I'm really, really not. And I do enjoy building. I think it's kind of relaxing. I love to get creative and try new things, but I'm definitely not like a mega skilled builder at all. And I don't ever claim to be. So I just, do trial and error throughout my builds and see what's good or what looks good, and then I change it up depending. One thing you'll know one thing you'll notice that I really, really dislike in building is roofs. I cannot stand building roofs, and I will change a whole house if a roof is giving me a hard time. And that's the truth. And I don't know if any of you are like that, but I just can't stand it. I really miss like the old versions of The Sims where we had auto roof placement. I think that was the best, but yeah, we don't have it anymore. I don't know why. I don't know if they think that we've just evolved as simmers, but I mean, we definitely have, but not all of us. I definitely just don't do roofs good at all whatsoever, and I don't know. It's just the way that it is. So, there's that. But anyway, so going back to the build, I did want it to make it kind of like with bright colors, but like a little bit on the neutral side as well, like not too bright. Because I did want to make it like, kind of like a little family home. I know it's just the mom and the toddler, but I wanted to make it kind of like, their own space. I was originally going to make this house with like a studio kind of vibe. Like no rooms, just everything in one room and then a bathroom. But I decided to make it into 2 rooms because I figured I had the space. So I ended up dividing it and designing the 2 rooms separately. I knew it was going to give me kind of like a basic room for the master bedroom, but I also did want to kind of keep it as a starter home, like a starter home price, and I didn't want it to be too expensive. So I'm pretty sure this did come out to starter home price. I don't remember the exact amount that it is, but I think it does come out to be a starter home. And you can use it to be a tiny home as well, of course. And you get to use those benefits that you get for having a tiny home. So that's why I did keep like the tiny home requirements on the side just to make sure that I didn't go over, and that anytime that I changed the house that I would change the tile amount to be the same. But I did want it to be a pretty spacious tiny home since my characters are a single mom with a toddler and a dog. So I did want it to have, a good amount of space for them to be able to live in there comfortably and not get glitchy and stuff. So that's the way that I did. Oh, I do change the roof again. So you could see that I did that there. And so I guess I was inspired in the beginning to do like similar roof as before, but then as the build went on, I was just like, this is just not working. But I still kept that kind of vibe of like the tilted roof, the tilted flat roof, and going in like opposite directions, which I don't know, I liked it. But I do decide to do like this back porch kind of thing instead of a front porch. But for this back porch, it doesn't really have a back door. And I know it's a little bit frustrating, but it is a tiny house. So I just figure, like if mom has a friend over or whatever, she could just go around the back and just hang out there. So I did later on put 2 chairs and a table, I believe, back there just to kind of, hang out. And I did think if you do have like basemental mods or anything like that, that maybe, if mom's stressed out or whatever, she could smoke a few cigarettes back there. Or even some of the other things that they have in the basemental mods she can do back there. And, take a breather while toddler's asleep so she could just, have a relaxing moment. Sometimes moms need that, even if they're not a single mom. Moms in general just need relaxation. And so I just put that simple thing there. And then I didn't do too much with the rooms. I kept it really simple because I did want to keep the price down. I didn't want to include too much stuff that made the price go up because I did want to keep it realistic in the fact that she is a single mom, so she only has one income. And maybe, she doesn't have a lot of time to, I don't know, decorate. I decorated a little bit, but only enough so that it's like a comfortable home, not too much where it's like overly priced and overly decorated where it's like, I don't know, I just wanted the vibe to seem like a single mom home and with a dog, and that's it. And then I didn't even do much for the dog either. I didn't include a bed or anything for it. I just put the food bowl, I believe. And then I also, I put the cereal box there. I figured maybe it's like a little mess there, and she doesn't have time to put things away. And I didn't want to be too stereotypical around the single mom vibe with this build because I didn't want to make it seem like single moms have like no control over life. I did want to make it seem like she does have things together, but time gets away from her sometimes. And so that's the kind of vibe that I wanted to put for my specific characters. But, you could really put anybody that wants to live in here and here. You could even put a couple with a pet and a toddler. It doesn't even need to be a single mom because I did put a double bed. But the other person is not going to be able to get around the bed to go on the other side of it. So you might have to just play around with the placing on that. But it's still possible. I mean, there's definitely enough space to move things around and be able to get even 3 people to live here, 2 adults and a toddler or even a child or anything. Like once the toddler ages up, I'm sure it's going to have plenty of space in that room to have a single bed. And so, yeah, that was my mindset throughout the whole thing. I wanted it to be playable for definitely different kinds of families, but small families, but I definitely catered it more to my specific characters, so that's something. But hopefully, I don't know, maybe that will spark something in you and you'd want to play that kind of game too and make a single parent and move them in here. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Or you could just take out all this toddler stuff together, make it an office, and then just have a tiny home for a single sim. And you could do that too. I mean, sky's the limit for sure. So right now I'm working on the toddler's room, and it is a very small room, so I wanted to just put a few things, and I feel like the toddler stuff is so big, like that huge trunk that is like, anyway, I just feel like it takes up a lot of space. But I do like that rug that I just placed right there, but I do end up taking it out and putting a white fluffy rug instead, just because I felt like I wanted it to be, I don't know, a little more cozy looking. And I thought that that fluffy, like furry white rug kind of did that. And then I just put some scattered toys around, and I'm pretty sure I just left it like that. I left it a pretty simple room. I didn't want too much space taken up. And then for the living room, I put some blocks there too for the toddler to be able to play in the living room. I do like that. I feel like if they're just playing in their room all the time, it's a little unrealistic, because when you go to somebody's house that has kids, like the kids are not just in their room all the time playing with their stuff. Like there's kid stuff around. But I also didn't want to make it messy. So there's that too. And then I did put the dog bowls there in the corner, and I believe I do add in that corner the leash rack that came with the Pets pack. And so I forget the exact name of it, because, you know, after you've been playing Sims as long as I have, I've been playing Sims since I was like 9 years old. And I'm not 9 years old right now, and we're in Sims 4. And when I was 9 years old, Sims 1 was around. So yeah, that's how long I've been playing The Sims. But when you've been around as long as I have, you kind of just forget the pack names, because it's like the same packs in each Sims, but different names, but they're like similar packs. So like there was Unleash, and then there's like Cats and Dogs. I mean, I think Cats and Dogs are the Sims 4 one, but I don't really keep track. I just know the theme. That's pretty much it. I just keep up with the theme, but the pack name itself sometimes slips my mind. And then you'll see here on the back of the house, I'm putting the chairs that I was mentioning. And I played with them a little bit, just to kind of make it look a little natural. I don't like it when things are just like placed so, I don't know, like nicely. But at the same time I do. Like I have this kind of like mild OCD trait where I just like things to be very symmetrical or whatever, but then there's also times where I just want things to look a little more realistic. And I do put a little bit of dirt underneath there, just to make it look like people hang out there, and maybe, you know, like they step around there a lot, so the grass got kind of messed up, and the dirt patches are showing. And then, of course, I do add dirt around the house, just to make it look a little bit more placed and lived in. And then I do put like this messy kind of dirt thing around the side of the house, and the reason for that was because I wanted it to seem like the people were going, you know, from the front of the house and then walking around to the back, so that way they could go to that area where they have the chairs. So I figured there would probably be a lot of step marks on the side where people walk back and forth all the time, since there's no back door. So I just kind of wanted to make it a little bit realistic there. And then just working on the landscaping a little bit. I don't think I did too much with the front of the house as far as landscaping. And also, I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything with the front in the video, but then you'll see, like, if you want to download the house, you'll see that I do add like this dirt path in the front that's a lot bigger. But if you do want to download this build, you can download it on the gallery using my gallery name SimplyPepper1 or #SimplyPepper. But we are going to be coming into screenshots soon, so if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And you can click the bell for notifications so that you can see every time I post. Bye!